seventh floor.
Hey guys, it's Monday the 16th of August. As you can tell, I'm in different surroundings. So I'm just up on the Sunshine Coast. So just working from our Sunshine Coast office for 2 days this week. So Monday, Tuesday, just as part of the handover to my replacement. It's just over a week now until I fly out to London. So a bit surreal. So it's only now starting to sort of sink in that I'm about to bounce. And yeah, I'm just sort of trying to process how I feel about it all. Let me take you around. As you come in, there's the kitchen straight ahead. You have a fridge, tea supplies, tea and coffee supplies. In here, got a supply of milk. Coming back around this way, you've got the dining and then living area. Just back around here, just a desk there in case you need to do work. This is the bathroom, pretty nice. Back here to the living room. And then you come out to the balcony, which is amazing. This is going to be beautiful tomorrow. So you look out that way, I believe, inland. On the other side of that big building there is our office, and then straight across there is the beach. This is going to be amazing tomorrow. You come back this way, so that's where we just came from, and in there is my room for the night. I don't think I'm going to close these tonight. So then back in through here is my room. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to close these blinds tonight. And then I have a whole king size bed to myself. Just getting ready to head out to dinner. I've got to go to the office first just to quickly grab a charger so my phone doesn't die tonight and I can wake up in time tomorrow to head to the office. Before I do, I'm just going to do a little bit of skincare. I have been using, this is probably my 4th bottle of is that even focusing? Hyaluronic acid. In total, I do 5 drops of hyaluronic acid. Oh, Giants, it's hot in here. 5 drops of hyaluronic acid and just pat that into my face. This is all I do. So hyaluronic acid followed by, I used to use, what is this? The Hyaluronic Marine by Dr. Dennis, but my skin just didn't react really well to it. So I swapped that out for the Natural Moisturizing Cream by The Ordinary. And yeah, I haven't gone back since. This is the dodgiest skincare routine ever. Obviously, I washed my face in the shower. And that's literally all I do. To my face. It's so hot. And then I just follow it up with a curl, eyelash curl. I'm just going to finish it up on the camera mirror. This is the dodgiest skincare slash get ready. Anyway, that's all I'm doing tonight. That's all I'm doing. That's all I usually ever do because I am not about the makeup life. Alright guys, I'm at the wharf in the Lullaby. So just heading in just to find somewhere to have a quick bite, maybe have a glass of wine, and then Uber it back to my place. Alrighty guys, I'm going to wrap up my last day here on the Sunshine Coast office by going for a swim at the beach. So I want to try to catch the last of the sunset, and I hear on the grapevine that Cotton Tree Beach is the best spot for that. So let's get going. To touch on was the visa. So I'm on the Tier 5 Youth Mobility Visa, and there's a certain list of countries, not extensive, but definitely off the top of my head I can think of Australia for sure, New Zealand, Canada, and then just a few more countries on top of that whose citizens aged between 18 and under a recent trade deal struck between the Australian and UK government. For Australian citizens, I believe the age limit has been extended from 30 to 35. So in keeping with the name Youth Mobility Visa, so for persons in that age bracket, it affords them the opportunity to live and work in the UK for previously, before the trade deal, it was a period of 2 years, and with the trade deal it's increased that by a year, so it's up to 3 years where you can come here and live and work under that visa. So there's that criteria, and then there's the financial considerations that you need to think about. So there's an application fee to apply for the visa, and then there's also a healthcare surcharge that you need to pay on top of that. In terms of timeframes, if you are looking to make the application, it's about a month to a month and a half from lodging your application to then getting your passport. So from when you lodge your application, pretty much the next week you can then book in to get your biometrics done, which involves taking a copy of your fingerprint and getting your photo, getting your passport sent off to get the entrance clearance certificate. So between your biometrics and getting that certificate, it's about a 2 to 3 week wait that you'd be looking at. Then once that comes back, you then have about 3 months to enter the UK. You can extend it past the 3 months, but you'd have to submit an application to do so. But that essentially is the visa process. The next thing that I will be discussing are specific to the time when I was making the move over here, and they're just around Australian government requirements. So there are 2 key things that were very specific to the time in which I applied to come to the UK. A lot of Australians are aware that in November the federal government did lift a lot of those restrictions, and I guess the impact for people looking to come over to the UK on a tier 5 visa is that they've done away with the need to sign and submit a statutory declaration saying that you'll be gone from the country for at least 3 months. Which leads me into the second big thing. The UK government did have a traffic light system in place with a list of red countries on the amber list, and then countries on the green list. So my objective was to arrive in the UK and not have to hotel quarantine and fork out money to pay for hotel quarantine. So it influenced my decision in terms of me wanting to fly from a green list country, transit through a green list country being Singapore, and then land in the UK and only have to do a day 2 test, producing a negative result. So yeah, once that came through as negative, which was pretty much within the same day, I believe, because that did come through negative, then I was free to go and see the sights. Because there were no direct flights. Qantas was not running flights from Australia to the UK. Obviously, choice of airlines and choice of flight were really important. So I wanted to keep it green list all the way until I came to all the way until I got to the UK. So it meant flying through Singapore Airlines with a transition at Changi Airport. So Singapore at the time was also a green list country, which made obviously then a lot of sense for me sort of choosing to fly with them, because it just eliminated having to hotel quarantine when I got to the UK. So anybody traveling from a green light country, they didn't have to do hotel quarantine. The only requirement was that you produce a negative test 72 hours before flying, and it had to be a PCR test that you have to do before flying. Once your result comes back as negative, there's a certificate that you can then download and print, which is necessary to produce at the airport when you check in. Yeah, so first requirement being a negative PCR test within the 72 hours before flying. I believe Singapore as a country was very restrictive in terms of which countries were allowed to sort of transit through Singapore, if that makes sense. So as in they only let green list countries transit through Singapore, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. But yes, they were very specific in terms of just isolating the international sort of arrivals and making sure that they were, I guess, just appropriately herded, if I could say herded onto their next flight, obviously to their final destination. So yeah, I know there were a couple of flights transiting in the Middle East. Obviously decided against taking those flights because at the time they were listed as amber list countries, which would have impacted sort of post-flight restrictions. Transiting in Singapore at the moment, 5.5 hour layover, and we board in 45 minutes. So just had a change of gate. So I'm just going to head down and just make sure I get there so that it's not a big rush.